Hey everybody, this is Rebecca from Pizza Clay Pottery, and I'm giving you guys a sculpting small tutorial today. My first step is always to prepare the form. I make a little baked potato out of newspaper and then roll some pretty thick slabs around the outside. You definitely want to be careful that your slabs aren't too small or that newspaper can start poking through a little bit. Next up, I work on my details. So that is just trying to get the basic form and shape of the skull down. I use a replica of a skull and I look at photos, sometimes I look at other people, and I'll even pull out a little mirror so I can see firsthand what a human head looks like. Now I'm going to work on the beak of this piece, which is just a bit of a tapered coil. I spent a little bit of time with this, shaping this, making sure it looks accurate to a beak. Next up is one of my favorite features of the face. I am going to start working on the eyes. And now this is something I will decide if they match later on as soon as I get them laid out. But sometimes I'm taking those eyes out and putting them back on. I like to make my eyelids with a thin little slab that I stretch with a little bit of water in my palm. There's a lot of different ways that you can make eyes, but I found that this is one of my favorites here. All right, once I've gotten those eyes in, I'm now gonna start on scooping my forms. I wanna make sure that there aren't any really thick spots as I'm moving through. You don't want something that's super heavy for people to lift or could explode in the kiln. A little trick here, making a little line there so that I can see and match up the two parts of my sculpture later on. And now I'm just gonna scoop. I'm gonna scoop forever, because a heavy sculpture isn't the most enjoyable. Next up is reattaching all of my pieces together. I really love this Kemper wiry scratch and slip tool. I find it's best for sculpture because you really want to get a nice and deep scratch and slip line. Only because you want your pieces to really stick together, especially with sculptural work. You don't want anything weird happening in the kiln. So I spend a lot of time scratching and slipping. I get very heavy with my score marks, and I'm adding a lot of water so that there's a lot of slip. I want that slip to sort of poke through my seams, and then I can use my finger to smooth it out. Next up is setting the piece. I really enjoy this part because I'm getting close to the end of my sculpture and it feels good to, wrap things up a little bit. I make a little bit of a coil and then I'm trying to set this into a wheel thrown little base that I had made previous in the day. And keep in mind, y'all, that I've definitely taken breaks and I've dried my work throughout the process. Final steps, cleaning it up, making sure you don't have any sharp edges that get chipped later. Really scratching and slipping, y'all. The most important step, I think, with sculpture. Once I have everything all nice and set, I'm going to go ahead and go in, sign my name, 2024, looking great. Here it is, all the way done. Thanks for watching, everyone. You can see this finished sculpture in my booth this year at Clayfest. Really can't wait to see everyone. Bye.